The countdown to the November general election clicks into a new gear today. Today marks 1 month out from an important election cycle, the part where all major statewide positions are up for a vote. And while this season doesn't seem to be as combative as, say, the primary season, it's still worth seeing who is leading when it comes to money coming into candidates. Here's Chief Political Reporter Joe Paris.
1 month out from Election Day here in Idaho, and millions of dollars are flowing into political campaigns. Across all Idaho races since September 1st of this year, 6,721 donors have given about $2.8 million to 222 candidates and 114 political action committees. Looking back a year to October 12, 2021, about 35,000 donors have given $26.6 million to 755 candidates and 206 political action committees. And about $18 million of that number was just for candidates. So what do major statewide races look like in terms of donors and dollars? First, on the race to be Idaho's governor, incumbent Governor Brad Little, since last year has seen about 3,000 donors give about $2.5 million. Since September 1st, Governor Little has had 356 donors give $161,527. Stephen Hite, the candidate from the Idaho Democrats in this race, has had 31 donors give about $24,000 since October of last year. Since September 1st, 10 donors have donated about $4,000 to Mr. Hite. The independent candidate in this race, Ammon Bundy, has seen success since last October, having 1,300 donors give about $500,000. Since September 1st of this year, 627 donors have reportedly given Bundy about $87,000. Governor Little far and away has more donors and dollars than his opponents combined. No surprise, though, for the incumbent. Maybe the most talked about race this election season, the battle to be Idaho's next Attorney General. Former Idaho Congressman, Republican candidate Raul Labrador, since last October has had 709 donors give $874,125. Since September 1st of this year, Labrador has had 159 donors give about $136,000. His opponent on the other side of the aisle, Democrat Tom Arkush, joined the race recently, but if you date back to his entire campaign, he's had 762 donors give about $283,000. Since September 1st, Arkush has seen 318 donors give about $87,000. So, Mr. Arkush is seeing more individual people donate to his campaign, but Labrador is seeing a significantly higher contribution mark. So, do more dollars or donors lead to an election victory? Well, time will tell in this cycle. In the race to be Idaho's next lieutenant governor, Republican Scott Bedke has seen 991 donors give about $846,000 since October of last year. Since September 1st, Bedke has seen 78 donors give about $88,000. On the other side of the race for the Idaho Democrats, Terry Pickens Manweiler has had 689 donors give about $264,000 since last October. Since September 1st, 174 donors have given Pickens Manweiler about $28,000. Party-wise, Idaho Democrats are seeing more activity in terms of individual donors as of late, but Republicans are receiving more money from donors. Since September 1st, we have this breakdown for you. Democrats have seen 1,844 donors give about $435,000 to 64 candidates. The Republicans in the same time frame, since September 1st, have had 1,566 donors give about $965,000 to 133 candidates statewide. And if you look back about a year on the same question, overall party contributions from last October shake out this way. The Republicans have had about 23,000 donors give about $21 million to 692 candidates statewide. Meanwhile, Idaho Democrats have had 11,000 donors give about $4.8 million to 137 candidates. And money is not just flowing into statewide races, it's also the legislative races, county positions. All of them are drawing major money. And Brian, really, this conversation we're having is so that we can circle back to this data after the general election, again, 1 month from today, and we can answer a question, or try to answer a question I see from our viewers heading into elections. Is it more important to have more money or more donors? It'll be interesting to see kind of what the trend looks like, and I know that we're seeing a lot of extra attention into the race for the Attorney General's office, and we've seen a lot of donations from both sides of the aisle kind of go towards the Democrats, and it's a whole thing that we'll talk about another time.
I know you just threw a lot of numbers at us, but the gist of this is what? We're seeing more money than we saw, say, 4 years ago? And the other question is, it isn't a high-profile, like, election for the top spot, a governor, like
Right.
it was 4 years ago with the high-profile Paulette Jordan going against Brad Little and what have you. The money's going different spots this time?
Right, and again, like kind of with the race for Attorney General, 4 years ago when we had Lawrence Wasden, who was the incumbent, he had won the primary, there wasn't as much interest in that race, for example. So this time around, when you have Labrador and Arcouche, and it's politically a very hot race, you're seeing way more money go into that race than you would ever see previously. It is interesting, though, if you look at what you'd say the top race on the ballot, Governor Brad Little taking on Stephen Haidt, that is nowhere near the attention that we'd seen between Paulette Jordan and Governor Little 4 years ago in the November general. And if you look back at the May primary 4 years ago with Labrador, Alquist, and Little, the money in that race and the advertising in that race is likely something we won't see again for at least 4 more years.
All right. Thank you very much, Joe. We'll keep tabs on that. And again, the 4-week countdown continues today.